Yeah, no, I went into the shop and I did a forearm tattoo earlier in the day, and then I did a consult to finish off a sleeve and motored on back home to get some stuff done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty rad. That's pretty rad. So
Yeah.
thanks for hanging out with us, man.
Oh, no worries.
What are you
Anytime.
drinking? What are you drinking there, big guy?
Oh, drinking one of those watermelon sparkly waters.
Oh, delish.
Yeah. Good
Dude,
stuff.
I like your background. What's going on behind you there?
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's art from and family photos from my collection, I guess, through the years.
What you should have said was, I don't know where I am. I don't know who these people are.
Who are all these dead people behind?
I sure hope these people don't come home anytime soon.
Actually, the thing I do is I break into homes and then I call people from a Zoom call, and then they guess where I am.
Adds a whole new factor. Like, this conversation can go on for an hour or 30 minutes, depending on how long the family takes.
They're home. I have to go. Oh my god.
They're home and they look pissed.
Right?
Gotta put my mask on. I gotta go.
Yeah.
Man, so I remember you telling me when I was getting my tattoo, just so people know who you are. This is Spencer, and he is a really cool tattoo artist. If you don't know, you need to go get a tattoo by him because his line work doesn't hurt, but the other things do hurt. I looked at the hard way. I said to him, I'm like, usually what hurts for me the most is the line work. Remember I always said that to you, Ernie?
Yeah, you're fucked.
Yeah, I don't like it. But he's like doing the line work. I'm like, okay, this is not bad. He goes, hey, so just so you know, it's usually the opposite with me. I'm like, all right, sure. Whatever you say. I'm like, actually, I think it'll be less. But I was wrong. It was, the line work, You want me to move over towards you?
You want to move closer to me?
Yeah, you want me?
Yeah, I need you to move over towards me.
Since we're doing video now, he's very particular about where I'm sitting, so. Anyway.
Come closer.
It was a good experience, but you weren't kidding about your shading.
So hang on. So the shading was nice?
It was not nice.
So the line work was nice?
Yeah, it was. It was really nice.
I always thought the line work was the nice part. And then when the shading comes, you're like, okay.
Yeah, no, I've always found it the same, man. Every time that I've sat for lining sessions, I'm like, that sucked, but it was like, doable. But then the second I sit for shading, I'm just like, oh, Jesus, this sucks.
See, that's never the thing for me. But maybe mentally I set myself up to be like, oh, maybe this is easy, and then maybe this is actually hard. Like, I don't know. For me, it was always the opposite when I'm getting it done.
Well, because shading, right? Like you're going like the guy that I go to, he's nice because he can tell that I'm like, I don't move, but I give him a face. I'm like, that was nice, and like he did the one part, and he's just like, I know that sucks, and I'm like, yeah. He's like, you didn't say anything, but your face looked like you wanted to murder me. I'm like, yeah, I thought about it in my head a couple times.
And you don't want to be the person that the tattoo artist goes, they sit like shit or they're a bad sitter.
Yeah,
and like I don't even like to hear the answer from most people, like when I'm getting tattooed by, because I'm like, I don't want to be that guy. But like, hey, so what'd you think? Does it sit like a champ, or what do you think?
Honestly,
I don't ask.
Dude, when I started getting tattooed, I was that guy. I was so like, I wanted to make sure that I was sitting well and stuff like that. And like, the older you get, the more it sucks.
Yeah.
I'm super grateful that the majority of my clients can just really tough it out, and sitting isn't really an issue with doing the tattoos. So it makes my job a lot easier.
What would you say is like the reasoning behind that? Like, for me, it makes sense. Like, if I'm thinking about it from like a scientific understanding of the body perspective, the lining should be hurting first because your body is
battery.
I was saying battery. The thing that we walk around in, the big meat puppet thing. What happens is like those sensors get overloaded during the lining process, and then in the shading it probably should be less, but I don't know.
Well, that really just depends on the person. Like, certain people, when they line, they'll sink their needles a bit deeper than other people. Like, I just try to go, like, as I've progressed in my career, I've tried to just really take my time with everything, and sometimes slower is better. And, just because you're going slow doesn't mean the tattoo won't be getting done in an efficient amount of time. Like, it's really just paying attention to what you're doing and making sure that what you're doing is done with intention. So that way, like, you're not wasting needle time in the skin and hurting someone for no reason, right?
No reason.
I gotta ask you about the time thing. So my wife recently got a tattoo done by a new artist somewhere, and they took their time by an extreme, whereas he took a lunch break.
What?
And then stopped, and I'm like, were you still on the clock at this point?
No. How long was lunch break?
Oh, we went out and got something.
That's
Pizza joint.
Yeah, that's like when I'm tattooing, some of my friends will do that, but like they're like, you know, they know that's happening, they're okay with it, but like I would never do that to a client. That's,
But let's just say you were to go get something to eat, and because
Yeah.
like you were starting to feel like you're getting a little bit passed out, you know, you're kind of, you know, fading a little bit.
Yeah.
You're not on the clock. You're not making the client pay for your lunch break, though, are you? Know?
Oh God, no. No. If you're taking time away from the tattoo to do something other than tattoo, then like, you know, unless you're like switching machines out or like getting your colors set up or something like that, like that doesn't factor into the tattoo time. Like the person, you know, should be minusing whatever time they took for lunch from the
Right.
tattoo. But
Like smoke breaks that you took 6 of them or something like that. And
yeah,
Six
but like,
smoke breaks.
you know,
Daniel said he
if
took
you
a
really
few.
need to get lunch in you, like just finish the tattoo up to a certain point where it looks good, and then maybe call the session a bit early to eat your lunch. But like, I don't know. It kind of sucks taking a giant break in the middle of a session and then jumping back into the session afterward. Like, you know, I'm still getting tattooed and like, yeah, I wouldn't be pumped.
Oh, I'm like, yo, finish up that hamburger, bro. Like, put it in a blender.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah, I think I'd be pissed. Like, I don't understand if like you ask for a tiger and then they change their mind, they want a hot dog. But like, you know,
Yeah.
that's on the client. That's not on you, right? But
What? What are you talking
you don't
about?
want to. You don't want a lion hot dog. What else would
I don't want a lion hot dog, but
you never wanted a lion hot dog before?
no, I don't know. I think you're lying. So I gotta say
You're
this
red
though, like getting tattooed by you is pretty awesome, and I'm
Thank you,
gonna
man.
we're hanging out again for a long
Thank you,
time
man.
till you die, probably. Okay.
I appreciate that, buddy.
Yeah, I checked out your body work. It was pretty impressive.
Yeah. Are you having any audio issues on your end at all? Can you hear us just fine?
Is
Yeah,
that just
no, I
you?
can hear you guys great.
Okay.
Are you guys having issues on your end?
No, you're good. Our
All
our headphones are just doing some wiggity whack stuff. We're doing okay, Ernie. I think we're just gonna have to suffer through it. I think that's it. Yeah,
There we
you
go.
just fixed it.
There we go.
It's always a little bit buggy sometimes with certain things, the way we move things
Yep.
around. But anyway, so let's get into like from the beginning. I know I've asked you this before when we were hanging out, getting tattooed, but the rest of the world and our legions of listeners haven't known this. So where did you grow
Yeah.
up, and how did all this cool stuff start for you?
So I'm from Hamilton, and Hamilton, Ontario, and yeah, born and raised there. And I was a skateboarder when I was younger, and into the hardcore scene, and you know, always into kind of like, I guess,
The culture.
alternative style stuff, like, you know,
Yeah.
stuff that was kind of fringe culture, I guess, not
Mm.
more or less mainstream. And yeah,
Home at the Iron River, the
Yeah.
river that has tons of fish that you cannot eat.
You can't eat
Yeah.
fish.
No,
Oh.
you're gonna end up with a
you
tail.
can't really eat anything in that city because
No.
there's
Nothing
a bunch
in
of
the city.
steel mills there and other industrial factories, and
I saw
yeah,
those
I wouldn't
fish in
wanna
there,
eat
and there was some.
anything from Lake Ontario.
Yeah, there were some guys catching some fish there, and the guys that were working were like, "You don't want to eat that," and they're like, "We
Yeah.
eat these every day." We're like, "Yeah, we can tell, sir."
Yeah, I bet a lot of mercury poisoning.
That's why
Hey,
we've got a wandering eye. One eye's wandering where the other one is.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Jeez. My wife gets me. No, we're
No,
not gonna get
no,
into
don't
it.
go there.
No, we're not getting
Don't
into
go
it.
there.
So, like, why did that kind of culture call you? I know why it called me, but why did that kind of call you in a sense when you were growing up? You're like, this is where I kind of fit in. Why did that match up for you?
Well, I mean, like, I was raised in a pretty, like, strict Catholic household when I was younger, so I guess it's just, like, you know, you go through the whole rebellion phase, and, like, it was at a time when hip-hop was getting big, but my parents really weren't cool with hip-hop, so had to wait till I was a bit older to kind of get into that stuff. But
Wait to
they
hop into it.
Yeah,
Terrible.
but they were okay with like pop music and pop punk and like, you know, Alexis on Fire, because they couldn't understand what they were saying, so they're just like, sure, fine.
He's preaching the good word, bro.
Yeah. So and then yeah, I was just into skateboarding just because it was fun, you know. It got you outside, got me active, and yeah, learning tricks was cool. Like I always loved Rodney Mullen, and who's the other one? He did the 3
Tony
flip
Hawk.
over Wallenberg. I'm blanking on his name right now. Chris Cole. That's it.
Oh yeah, Chris. Chris and I go way back.
Chris Cole.
He's cool.
But yeah, he was like one of my favorite skateboarders growing up. I'm pretty sure I had like 2 of his pro models when I was in high school. And yeah, just did that all the time. And then always thought that I was going to get into designing skateboard graphics when I was younger. And as I got older, you know, that didn't really pan out, the school route, but I was working factory gigs and doing graffiti and stuff, and had a bit of an injury and prevented me from working the factory job. So went down to some tattoo shops after I'd like gotten together a quick little portfolio, and went around with my sketchbook and this little portfolio, and eventually a shop on Barton and Lotridge in Hamilton took me on.
Was it a
side tattoo?
Was it a digital portfolio, or did you actually have like a hand?
No,
like
no. This was long before iPads were a thing in tattooing. Yeah.
You've dated yourself, sir. You've dated yourself.
Yeah.
So like all the stuff, the idea of getting into like doing stuff for like skateboards and the art. So art was always a thing though for you.
Oh yeah, no, I've been drawing since I was a kid. Like the City Hall in Stony Creek, which is like basically out in Winona, they put on like a little art day routine thing that my parents kind of like signed me and my sister up for when we were younger and dropped us off at. And,
that was awesome.
Yeah, so I was doing it at a really young age, and you know, kind of fell in and out of it throughout like my childhood and teenage years. But once I hit about 18, I kind of just hunkered down and really started trying to figure out how to draw, and like, you know, a lot of it was just self-motivation on that part.
You know, a lot of the people we've talked to over the many years.
Yeah, 2 to 12.
Yeah.
12 years. we've it's always the same kind of story. Is people kind of grow up with this like very religious background, or they grew up in a very like conservative kind of like. There's a lot. Like seriously, we've talked to a lot of people that have had that same kind of idea of upbringing.
Jesus gets his way around. That's what you're trying to say.
And like, and they kind of get into the when we grow up, we get into like these fringe groups, like hardcore. Like a lot of them are hardcore. A lot of like man, like you know what I mean. Like a lot of the people we've talked to. So it's interesting. We're kind of like we're almost like making a database of like cool people and why they were cool because they were brought up hardcore Christian. It's interesting, very interesting.
Right?
Yeah, it's so weird.
That was his roundabout way of saying you're cool.
Oh, thanks, man.
He knows that. I wouldn't have given any money to him.
Yeah, if you weren't cool, we ain't fucking talking.
So I always no. Even I always say this to people like, I don't like you. You're not tattooing me.
We said unless he has some black and white photos behind him, I ain't fucking talking to him.
Now we do
He's out.
podcasts and someone doesn't have a cool background like this.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
We had a really good talk.
Yeah,
I might have COVID or leprosy.
Yeah, my fingers stopped working and I can't do the podcast anymore. Yeah, it's just so interesting. Like, geez. Anyway, so let's get back to that weird story about your wife. So, like, did she not know this person who knew she was getting too tattooed by?
No, it was a new artist that she was.
See, that's your problem. I don't do that. Like,
she was kind of shopping around because she had like this really like set guy that she wanted to, and then he moved, and I'm not flying her all the way to BC to go get a tattoo.
You know what?
So
I guess you just gotta like make friendships.
Yeah.
You know?
So we got snack time this time. So
you call it?
That's what I called him. When she told me she's like he's taking another break. I'm like, I'm driving down there. I'll finish the fucking thing.
Yeah, I don't think that's a good idea.
No, I was not impressed. Not impressed. All the breaks she said he was taking. I'm like, I'm not fucking paying for that.
Anyway, That
Anywho.
sucks. That's a shitty situation that would never happen with our man here.
No, not whatsoever.
No.
So did
Or,
you?
like, tons of other tattooers. Yeah, like there's tons of tattooers I know who wouldn't work that way. We usually schedule our appointments in a way where it won't really affect
Professionalism,
Right.
your
folks.
break time and stuff like that. Like it's just about paying attention to what you're doing and kind of going into things with a game plan.
But even if
I
you
don't know.
didn't know the guy, you could just say like, "Hey, by the way, I'm feeling like garbage today. I need to eat something," and you'd be like,
Yeah.
"Okay, I understand what's going on." Not,
And do it
man, this
before the
fucking guy eats a
appointment.
lot.
Do it before the appointment, before the client's already been sitting for a few hours. But yeah.
Let me get your opinion on this. So if someone's like has never got a tattoo, or let's say even someone who's just got a couple tattoos and they are looking for a new artist, what are some red flags or some positive things people can look for in a tattoo artist? Like, what are things that are like, hey, this person's going to be on the ball, they're going to schedule me, they're going to do a professional job? Like, what are you, in your opinion, what are some things that make people like that either stand out as like a negative, but also stand out as a positive? Like,
If the ashtray out front is full.
oh, well, there's Ernie's opinion.
Well, I mean, I like to go off the positives. So, like,
Yeah, let's do positive. This is PM&A podcast. Let's do it.
yeah, let's go off the positives. So, like, if the person's, if you respond to them and they're getting back to you in a timely manner, and for every artist that's different. Like, if you're, backlogged and you have hundreds of emails, then obviously you can't be replying to people within 24 hours. But, if they have a booking process, you can follow their booking process. But if someone's more open, then really just look at their portfolio. Look at the work that they do. Make sure it's something that you like. And show them ideas that you have of things that you like and listen to what they say. If they say it's not really in my wheelhouse or something like that, then, and whenever I say that, I always direct them to someone who can do whatever they're trying to get done, but yeah, it's just important to listen because, everyone's kind of got their strengths, I feel, more or less in the tattoo game. And not to say that most people can't do other things, because they definitely can. Like, I started my career in walk-in shops, and I'm still pretty much a walk-in artist to this day. So, it's something that you got to be able to do. But with that being said, I do mostly traditional, and I enjoy doing Japanese as well. So.
Why did you land on that style? Why did that style kind of like pull you in instead of like a realism or like a tribal kind of thing going on?
Man. There's so much history to traditional and Japanese, and like, it's when you see it, like, you can see a back piece or a torso from, like, if it's like a full front torso, you can see it from like a block away and be able to tell what it is. There's something powerful about that for me.
Yeah. What are those things called, Jeremy, where they have like the robes and the guys get them tattooed? Like,
Ask him, man.
What's a kimono? Have you ever like started one of them or helped assist one of them or?
No, I've never done like a full bodysuit like that. Some people, when they get them done, like a buddy that I work with has a few of those on the go, and they usually start off with a sleeve. And the way the Japanese done is that the background kind of ends off in a modular fashion. So if you're gonna do like a back piece that butts up next to a sleeve, then you can kind of flow the background from one area into the other.
Like, I'm always interested in the history of everything. I find that's just like the coolest thing. And to think that people have been getting, what do you think, tattooed for like 1,000 years? What do you think?
Yeah, 2 to 1,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's like a tribal thing in humanity. So it's been going on pretty much since the dawn of civilization, I would say. Like, cavemen were probably marking each other to show superiority in, their ranks or whatever.
Yeah, Moana was getting one too.
Moana? What the hell? Are you serious?
They're Samoan, I think.
Well, I'm interested to see like who kind of came up with the first idea of having like a sharp like object with like a type of like ink and then like putting it in. Like, obviously it's probably like, I have no idea. I have no idea. What do you think? First
Yeah.
tattoo. Like the Japanese?
Probably.
You think it was the Japanese?
I wouldn't say it was the Japanese. Like I think it predates like
Hmm.
civilizations like that. You know,
Maybe like
I think
Egypt?
it's a pretty ancient thing. Honestly, I think it would probably like if they dug up a 10,000-year-old mummy, they'd probably find
Yeah.
a
Yeah, they
mummy
got
with
they got the
tattoo
heart with the
armbands
mom
and
on it.
stuff.
Yeah.
Well, they have like horses in them and stuff. Like Aboriginal cultures had a form of tattooing in them, predating thousands and thousands of years. So it's been prevalent in all forms of society forever.
I've always and it'd be interesting to kind of know their motivation for getting tattooed. Like, what would be the like you're saying it like what would differ someone in a tribe, for instance, is like who is like the best hunter maybe, or who is like the shaman, for instance, or who's the king.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
and like
Maybe he has so many wives, he
types
forgot
of,
his wife's name.
different types of tribal tattooing have different meaning. Like Polynesian tattoos, certain shapes are significant of like arrows and things of that nature, and just really depends on the type of tribal that you're talking about.
Which and that always brings me back to like the main point is like why do we get tattooed? And like I could never really have an answer for someone when they ask me. I don't what's your answer when someone asks? Has anyone ever asked you that? Like, hey, why do you got tattoos? Like, what's the big deal?
Yeah, everyone really has their own reason. For some people, it's like a self-love thing, or they want to be comfortable with their body, and they feel the tattoos make them feel more comfortable. That was definitely like kind of a reason why I did it when I was younger, and also just because they're cool. Like
Hell yeah,
nothing
there.
cooler than seeing like cool-looking trad tats. To me, at least, because that's what I like doing. But to someone who loves realism, and they see an awesome black and gray realism piece, they're probably like, "Holy shit, that's the coolest thing in the world!" So
Yeah.
So I gotta ask, the elbow with the spider web. Settle this for me. I know what I believe it came from, but where did that tattoo come from? What was the origins of that tattoo?
Oh, it's a sick tattoo. Everyone's gonna have their own story behind it, but like I know it from like prison tattooing and stuff. So
Wasn't it from battleships? Am I wrong?
Could have been, for sure.
I heard it was because guys were hanging on like the sides of the ship, and like they were coming home and they would get them because like they were on the ship for so long that it was like cobwebs were growing on their elbows. That's what I heard.
Yeah, that could have been it. I heard of a similar thing for prisoners, right? For the exact same reason, because they're doing time hanging on the rails. But
Maybe it's both. I'm saying both.
Or they got bit by a spider.
No.
But yeah, no, it probably might be sailors. I'm not 100% sure.
It's probably that idea of both. Like, I don't think it has to stay specifically for sailors. What if it's like a person who spends so much time doing anything? Like, could be in the army, could have been anything. Like a sailor's army, isn't it? Like military, but yeah,
I mean, the military has a huge impact on like traditional tattooing, especially when you're talking about American traditional, because that's what a lot of like the early 1900s tattooing was. There's always a boom in tattooing when port towns were open and stuff like that.
Yeah, they would kind of get into port and then just go get like a bird or something to show like they've been they sailed a certain amount. Or am I mistaken on that one? I think there's something about it.
Yeah, yeah, they did. And then when they crossed the equator, they would get a tattoo for that. There used to be the old Sailor Jerry design, stewed, screwed, and tattooed. So that was the whole thing. Early 1900s. You get into port, go to tattoo parlor, go to the bar, get a drink, and get your tattoo.
Get a really sketchy tattoo.
Go back to the cruise ship.
yeah. I don't know how clean things were back then. You think a little bit of infections?
Oh God,
happened?
no! That was back when they just had a wash bucket.
That's like, hey, I'm gonna use this.
Just communally dipped into one bucket.
This bucket doesn't stink too much. Use this
Yeah, I
one.
think that maybe that's like a lot of the reason why a lot of them live longer than us. They got like these
You
crazy
got
ass
Got the
tattoos.
hip.
No,
Yeah.
yeah, and then they got like everybody's using the
Scurvy.
same needle. Let me clean it with some fire first. That's
Yeah.
yeah, that's
I mean, if they even did that back then, like I'm sure maybe some of the better tattooers did, but there wasn't much knowledge like there is now around like
Hmm.
cross contamination and all of that. So, and it's pretty foolproof now. Like everything's, disposable. You got to be pretty stupid to fuck that process up.
oh, there you go.
So from going from like old traditions to like new traditions, how many face tattoos have you done?
Ooh.
Oh, none.
None?
None, really?
Yeah.
Wow, is
Yeah.
that like a rule? Shop-
No, it's not a rule. It's just, I'm not going to just tattoo someone's face. Like, if you got like a bunch of blank space on your arms or like, no sleeves at all, then like, what are you getting your face tattooed for, And that's the thing. Like, I had a lot of kids asking me around the SoundCloud era. So, like, I'm not tattooing some 18-year-old's face because he needs it for his SoundCloud persona. Like, it's idiotic.
So, have you had people like come in? Like, I'm not like in that situation where they've been like, "Hey, I have no tattoos, but I really want to get tattooed like on my neck or my face." And you're like, "No, you don't."
Yeah, 100%. I told
Wow.
them, like, it's something that you should work up to. I had my neck done real young, and it's like something that I knew that I shouldn't have done.
Mm.
And it everyone thinks you're way more covered than you are when you have a neck tattoo or a hand tattoo.
Yeah.
And I didn't get my hands done until I was like 27 years old. So, and I was already like tattooing for quite a few years at that point. So,
Yep. Yeah, me too. I didn't get I got my hands done when I felt like my arms were significantly filled. But so if you see someone coming in and they look like they've had a many 10 plus years of getting tattooed and they said, "Hey, I want to get this cool thing under my eye." You'd be like, "Okay."
yeah, like if I don't know, like it also depends on, like I was saying, like how covered they are and just like where they are in life. Like
Right.
if they're in their early 20s and they still don't have their career figured out, I'm not going to throw a face tattoo on them if it's going to hinder their career. But like, if it's a tattooer or something, I wouldn't care because they're a tattooer. So it kind of comes with like, they have a face tattoo, it's not the end of the world for them. Like I just don't want to make a decision that someone's making when they're young that they're going to like in 3 to 5 years just be like, what the fuck was I thinking,
It kind of goes to show you like getting tattooed isn't just about like some guy you're just gonna go to and he's gonna get tattooed by you. I always feel like it's way more because like you like in a way I didn't think about this until like recently, maybe in the last 5 years. You have a responsibility yourself, like as the artist, like and a pretty big responsibility where you can go, hey, this is your life. Like this is your whole life. You're gonna have this. I'm putting it on you, and like you want something cool. Like you want something that like like you've thought of, but I'm gonna put my spin on it because I've been doing this trade for so long, and I know my style and I know what's gonna look good. I know how to make something look good. Or do you want something like it's cool that you can have that interaction and be part of that decision making. I just think that's really awesome.
Yeah, like I try to do it in the kindest way possible, like that, because a huge part of the job is customer service. But that's where like the whole letting people know where your shortcomings are too. Like everyone doesn't have the same strong suit as the next person. So just because one artist is great at a certain style doesn't mean anyone that you go to will be able to replicate what they do. That's why I always just say check out people's portfolios, and if you like what you see on their Instagram and stuff, then they could probably do a pretty good tattoo for you that's similar to what you see on their Instagram. But if you try and come at them from left field with something that you don't see on their Instagram or in their portfolio, then they might not be as willing to take that on verbatim as they would be something that you do see.
Yeah. Was that Joker, by the way, was that yours that I saw on the on your Instagram?
I believe so.
That was intense. That was really, really good.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, no, I was just trying out portraits a while back, but that's not something that I'm going to actually be pursuing.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
How did your most recent Wednesday walk-in go?
Oh, it was good. It was fun. Yeah, it was just the first walk-in Wednesday we've ever done, so just new to the city and trying to get the name out there because we have a lot of people coming in saying they don't even know that there's a tattoo shop in town.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah, because
So
we opened up at the beginning of the third lockdown, so
that's how we're gonna talk now. So where were you in the third lockdown? Oh, well, I was.
Jesus.
Yeah, yeah,
How many
Setting up the
how many
cat
needles
shack.
have you had shoved in your face?
not a lot.
No?
What are you talking about?
Third one in your arm, I mean.
Oh, I see. I'm like,
You know what I mean?
Shoved in your face. I'm like, where are you
You
going?
want to hear? You want to hear what really grinds my gears?
Sure.
My family, some of them, tested positive, then negative, then positive, then negative. So I'm living in a house of unclean. I didn't get COVID. I was fine. Then I go to
Nice.
get, and then like at the end of the quarantine that I had to have for some reason because I wasn't sick, I had to go get my third booster shot because the government told me to. I got the booster shot, put me on my butt the next day. So COVID, I was clean. Give me whatever the government listening device got jammed into my shoulder, put me on my butt.
Yeah, but for the whole day, or did you
Mhm.
I thought you said you took a nap, then you were all right.
No, I was down from 9 o'clock till like 8.
Not even 12 hours.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good turnaround, bro.
Yeah, I'm pretty strong.
Damn.
Carbo load on
Yeah.
some orange juice.
I've heard of people saying they got all the shots and they were totally okay, and I've heard of people like saying it totally leveled them. Like, I didn't get to pass the first shot. I have a pre-existing heart condition, and I just didn't feel safe with some of the issues with my age category and stuff. So, yeah.
Yeah, the swelling of the heart is not a good idea.
Yeah, I'm gonna go fucking around with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I've had my heart like cardioverted 3 times, so.
So let's get back into your story. I want to hear more about like leading up to like today because I just feel like you're a really rad guy. I want to hear more about your life. So we talked about you're at the point basically in your story where you're handing around, you're showing your portfolio to certain shops, and then you kind of got into a place, and so
Certain shops.
Yeah, what do you think? I can't talk. What's going on?
Certain.
What
You said certain shops.
Certainly.
I'm in a bit of a sushi coma. I had some supper a little while ago.
What sushi did you have?
Good sushi.
Like what kind?
Anyway, let's let our friend
What kind of sushi
Spencer
did you
here
have?
talk.
He wants to know.
No, he doesn't. My dragon rolls.
Where'd you get it from? Was it
I
from
went to
Cambridge?
Yeez.
Or?
I went to Yeez.
Yes.
Oh, crazy.
Yeah, and I got
Grumpy
some, I
sushi.
got some wonton soup, and I got some spicy dragon rolls. I
Oh,
got
nice.
some tempura rolls, and I really like hand rolls. I'm a hand roll guy.
Really?
Yeah, I like the hand rolls. That's just like your opinion, man.
Yep.
Oh, nice cat.
Thank
So
you.
only our Patreon listeners are, wow, you have a beautiful cat, man.
Everybody else, you're missing out.
Everybody else, pay $2. You can see.
You can
Spencer's
see
cat.
the man's kitty. I'm paid to see the cat.
Yeah, this is a hobo.
Hobo. Nice to see a hobo. I had a cat.
Oh, here we go.
I have 3.
Aw. And thank God nobody's allergic, so that makes it easy.
Right?
Yeah, my wife's
Yeah,
super.
this house I'm staying in that I just randomly came in. They could look at the cat.
Yeah.
These people got a cat. They had a cat.
And now
I named him.
that's why I named him Hobo.
That's why I
'cause
named Hobo.
He's coming with me.
Surprise! Someone's got a new home.
Oh man.
Shop cat.
So we're at that point in your story where you're saying you're handing out the portfolio. So what was that like for you going through that process of being a what do they call it?
Portfolio show arounder.
No, the guy who's like the starting, like the apprentice.
Oh,
I guess?
apprentice.
Yeah,
Beginner.
Yeah, I mean, the shop that I started at was a bit of a sketchy shop. If anyone is from Hamilton who listens to your podcast, and you know they were there in the '90s. They would have known about Darkside back in the day, and yeah, it was kind of like an apprentice mill by the time I got in there. So they were just like pumping and dumping people constantly, and it was interesting to say the least.
All right. We hear you laying down.
Hamilton is interesting. The city of one-way streets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I got lost so easily there.
Like that's an area of Hamilton. It's not far from I'm not sure what they call Ivor Wynn now, but it's not far from Ivor Wynn.
Yeah.
And,
Yes, the stadium. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a neighborhood.
Yeah. If your car breaks down, you may as well just break the windshield just so you have the fun of doing it.
Yeah, exactly.
I was downtown once in Hamilton. I was trying out this like chicken and waffle place, and it was really, really good. I can't remember the name of it, but I remember Josh.
I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah, it was really good. So I was walking downtown, and this guy and this girl were in front of my wife and I. And the guy goes, "I can't wait until I'm off parole, until we can just like leave the city." And I was looking at my wife. I'm like, "This guy's got things going on."
Hey, let's walk away as fast as possible.
This guy's got a couple things going on. You can't leave.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, all right.
There are some characters, that's for sure.
Yeah. Oh man.
Your hand looks like Wolverine with your keys in it.
I'm scratching.
But yeah, I did that for about 6 months, and then in like, you know, when I was there as an apprentice, I was like washing windows in the morning, and like first thing when I got in, I'd sweep the shop and like clean it top to bottom, deal with clients and all that. And after about a month, they had me tattooing people. Just like I said, they were an apprentice meal.
Do you know what your first tattoo was?
Oh God. Yeah, my first tattoo was on this dude that I went to high school with. We did I think it was Family First on his forearms. And that was like on someone other than myself. My first tattoo on myself was this god awful script I got above my knees.
Now, I've always wanted to ask that when you're doing tattooing yourself, like, what's the pain element? Like, you're doing it to yourself. It's like they say you're not be able to like bite off your own finger or something because there's like something that stops you from the pain of the thinking. What's that like when you're like tattooing yourself?
Who says that you don't bite your finger off? Who said that?
You can't unless you slam your jaw on a table.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with your tongue.
Yeah. You physically can't harm yourself to that point of that excruciating of pain.
Yeah.
You can't. You physically can't because your body will stop you. Yeah. You know that?
No.
Well, now you do.
Jeez.
No, you can't get that hungry, bro.
No.
Yeah. So. I think I did that for about 6 months, and then after that, I moved out to Vancouver, and then I was out in Vancouver for about a year and change, and then I went from Vancouver to Edmonton, and then I started tattooing again in Edmonton, and I haven't stopped since.
But then you moved to Ontario, though.
Yeah. So I was out in Edmonton at there were two shops. I was at a shop on White Ave and a shop out in Leduc. They're both owned by the same guy. And then I was there for about a year, and then I moved back from there to Ontario, and I worked at Anchors in Burlington for a year and a half. And then I moved to Guelph from there, and then from Guelph to Elora. And then from Elora to Furious.
Man, you've been moving around a lot.
Yeah.
Wow. Are you finally feeling like, as you're getting older, you're like ready to settle, or like, what was the reasoning for all the moving around? Just like things didn't feel good, or?
Oh, well, when I moved out west, I was with someone, and then the relationship kind of ended, so I had to, when we moved back home, the jobs just kind of didn't work out. Like, we were working for this company, and the boss that I worked for at the time was just a real not nice woman. So
we'll see you next Tuesday.
Yeah. So exactly. So yeah, we both kind of got dicked around by the same company, and then we moved back home, and you know, we eventually split, and from there, Anchors closed down, and then my parents were moving out of the city, so I decided to move up to Guelph because I had a job offering up there. And then from Guelph, I went to Allura and then to Tower Street Tattoos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you met up with Anton,
Yep.
like, I don't know if you would call him your boss or if you had said that he was your boss. Like, if you guys are just all partners, like, I don't know. What?
Yeah,
Like,
no, we all co-own it.
yeah, like, but before that, but before you're at the shop now,
Oh,
like,
yeah, in Allura. Yeah,
like,
Allura was his show.
yeah, like he's been on the podcast. He's such a cool guy. Like, he's like an awesome guy to talk to and just hang out with.
Yeah,
like,
he's a rad dude.
Like, seriously, that must be like one of the coolest bosses to have. Like, a guy who just seems so chill and like just being real. Like, I don't know. Like, sounds like you've gone through some bosses and maybe you like landed on the same guy. Obviously, you've moved. Wait, like, what do you think? 3 shops with him now, or just 2 shops?
2 shops, yeah.
That's
So
something,
just
right?
like from Graham River to Tower Street.
Yeah.
I'd like to say something real quick. This is the 3rd tattoo artist that we've had on that owns a cat.
Cats are cool, man.
What?
Cats
Oh.
rule.
Well, no.
Yeah.
She had.
What's her name? Had a cat.
Yeah, but she also had a dog.
She had 2 of
too.
them. Hey, listen. 4 legs, feline.
Cats are awesome, man.
I'm just saying.
Ernie and I grew up with cats. It's pretty awesome.
I don't like them. I'm just kidding.
We had cats. We had Siamese cats. It was
Oh
pretty
yeah,
sweet.
that thing was the
Oh,
devil.
nice.
Like,
no, this one is Satan.
So like, we were kids. We're gonna talk about cats. What's
We're gonna
going on
talk
here?
about cats.
Okay. So we were kids. My mom was like, okay, we're gonna go buy this like type of cat. It's called a Siamese cat. We're like, okay, cool. And so we go there as kids, and it's like, this is maybe like my perspective. Maybe you have a different perspective, Ernie. But like, so we buy this cat, and it was mad. And it was like grumpy. It was a kitten, and it wasn't like a nice cat. And so we put it in the box, and I'm sitting in the back seat, taking this cat home, and the cat's flailing its paw at me, tried to scratch me. As we're going home, I'm like, why are we buying this angry cat who doesn't want to even like be here? And so like, but its whole life, up to like the last year of its life, it lasted until it was 18. It was a grumpy cat, and it bit everyone, and like it like scratched everyone. My 80-year-old grandmother, who's like a fan of cats, came over to our house one time. And we're like, hey, Oma, don't go over to the cat.
Yeah, this thing's Satan.
It's
Satan
not
itself.
nice. And she goes, oh, I love cats. Like, I'm gonna go give it a kiss. And then she went to give it a kiss, and it bit her in the face.
Yep. Drew blood.
Yeah, it's brutal.
Oh, jeez.
This cat was the worst cat.
But
That's
my mom
vicious.
thought it was a bright idea to breed this thing.
yeah.
So they brought in a male stud. And I said to Mom, I'm like, did you like inform these people that they may not get their cat back? I was like, no. Like, he can handle her. And you just hear like bloody murder going on in the next room. I'm like, I sure hope they're doing it, because that sounds like someone's not going to be walking away from this.
Yeah, we're going to pay for a new cat.
And the funny thing is, her daughter was the nicest cat I've ever met in my life.
Yeah, yum.
You
We call
could
it yum
cut
yum.
this thing's tail off and it'd be like, oh, hey, how are you?
It's funny that I did just put this together now, but so unfortunately, when our grandfather died, our grandmother was lone, so we thought, let's give her Yum Yum, which is the daughter of the cat that bit her in the face.
Yeah,
But it was kind of funny.
that is true.
It's
a circle.
it's the history of our cat life.
Yeah.
They had kittens too, but those ran away. We
I
sold
don't know
them,
what they
so-
did with those ones.
Yeah, ran away. But
Yeah.
cats are awesome, man.
They are.
How old is
They are
Hobo?
great. Hobo, I think she's around 8 or 9 years old. She's a rescue that we took in.
Mm.
One of our in-laws couldn't like take care of them anymore. One of their cats wasn't behaving well since Hobo had started living with them. So we took her in, and she gets along with my 2 other cats great. So
That's awesome, man.
yeah, she's a big
Yeah.
sweetheart.
You guys don't have dogs, obviously, just cats.
No, just cats for now. I know like cats can be a financial burden, but not quite as much as dogs.
Yeah, wait till they break their leg. I can tell you all about that.
Yeah, right. If I'm going to get a dog, I want to make sure that I, can properly care for it. So
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So now you're like here. Now you're in like Preston. you're living
Yeah.
here. I think I'm not gonna say where you live because everybody doesn't need to know.
You just
that,
said
but, like,
Preston.
yeah, but that Preston's big. Preston's big.
Preston's a big area.
A
They
big
can't
area.
find me.
Google Maps them.
So now you're like, where do you feel like you are right now at your career, where you're just like, how do you feel like for yourself you can move forward in your career as an artist? Just precision, like what in your mind? Do you think about those kinds of things, or am I just?
Oh yeah, no, every day. Every tattoo artist I've met who really cares about what they do thinks about that all the time. You know, it's kind of what keeps us up at night.
Yeah.
For me, like, I used to hang out with my one buddy. Shout out Teddy Cardos. We used to hang out in Edmonton, and he was told something by a tattooer he had met, but it was basically that the first 10 years of your career, you're learning. Like, and you're learning your entire career, but, like, you're, like, you know, bare minimum, bare basics type learning for the first 10 years. And, like, you know, I remember hearing that, and I'm like, no way, I'm not going to be that guy. And now, like, you know, I'm coming up on 10 years, and I still feel like I'm learning every day, man. And
Well,
That's good.
what is
trying
like
to do
the
the best job I can.
yeah? What is like the newest style of tattooing coming out? Like the newest one I can think of now. I obviously I'm not a tattoo artist, but like neo-traditional is something that I've only heard of in the last couple years.
Yeah, neo-traditional is something that was getting big around like 2010, I would say. But it's definitely like a newer style. Like it started off in the 90s with this one dude named Chris Con Askew, and then kind of proliferated out from there. And, you know, he kind of birthed a lot of the tattooing that we see today, like from Valerie Vargas to tons of other tattooers all over the world. But yeah, he was pretty prolific at what he did. And he's still tattooing, I believe, now. I know that when I started, he was in retirement for a while, but then he came out of retirement and started tattooing again. So,
Do we know what the oldest tattoo shop in the world is?
I thought they did.
Do we know that?
Is it in the States?
it
Do you want
might
me
be
to-
one that my buddy Cam visited in Ireland.
Google it.
Yeah, Cam Joseph.
Look it up,
The
Jamie.
guy that we own the shop with. He's a good
Yeah.
buddy, great tattooer. Everyone go follow him and get tattooed by him.
I think, to be honest, like there's something about a vibe with a tattoo shop, and I'm seeing this more and more. Well, it's like not to say like they're like sacred spaces, but my wife's been getting tattooed by a lot of really amazing female tattoo artists that do like the pointillism and the very fine kind of tattooing. And you go into these places, and it's just like it's a whole experience beyond just the tattooing. Is that they bring you in and they talk about what you want, and then it's like the music and like what do you need? Do you want me to hang out with you? Do you want me to talk to you? Would you want it to be quiet? I'm like, is this the dentist? Like this is all like this is awesome. I'm like saying it's so cool. Like when Ernie and I first got our tattoos,
Your dentist has to talk to you.
she's-
How are you going to talk with their hand in your mouth? Well, how do you feel?
No. I'm saying is like they give you options for comfortability.
My dentist doesn't do that.
Mine does.
It's straight to work.
Your dentist sucks.
Shut up and lay there.
No, my dentist is like,
Do you get music?
I got a TV and everything. How do you not?
We get Netflix.
They say
I
whatever.
like this episode.
They say if you want to bring in headphones, if you want to watch TV, whatever you want.
For real.
They give you sunglasses. They want to like if you want to block out all the light, bro. Pay for a premium service here. So what I'm saying is like tattooing is getting to be like that. It's a very professional service. When years past, when like probably when you got your first tattoo, when we got our first tattoo, it was just like hope you brought cash.
Yeah,
Like
you better
Oh
pay
yeah,
for this
no,
shit.
like the first shop that I started at was like that, and it was yeah, it was an entertaining place to be in, that's for sure.
I like how he is not saying anything specific, but he
Yeah.
is saying a lot specific.
So the oldest studio in the world, by the way, is the legendary tattoo Ol at Denmark's Nyhavn 17. It's the world's oldest functioning tattoo shop with over 133 years under its belt.
Denmark.
Denmark, yeah.
Those Vikings, man.
Yeah.
Right? Man.
Yeah.
Wow.
Jeez, 133 years.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And that's probably
nuts.
just like documented. I'm sure
133 years of the same needle.
No, no, I don't.
You'd get on the needle out of
Don't-
Denmark?
No,
No.
don't
That was
try.
it. That was
Nope.
a shot.
You went there.
I tried it.
I hope
Tried
you
it.
stop. You'll never do it again.
I'm gonna look up Denmark accent.
So, with like the pandemic kind of going on and it affected everything, I saw a lot of tattoo artists got involved in a lot of other hobbies. And I wanted to kind of ask you, besides tattooing, like, is that your sole thing you do every day, all day? You just like hang out and tattoo, or like what other hobbies do you have?
Yeah, so like I draw and paint. That takes up a lot of my spare time when I'm at home. And
Yeah.
I play video games and stuff just to like do something totally non-art related and kind of turn my brain off from that side of things for a few hours. But I do that kind of intermittently throughout the week, so it's usually about an hour before bedtime.
Yeah. Do you ever mess around with Red Dead?
I did a little bit, yeah. When I was living with one of my buddies a while ago, I did for a little bit, but I play a lot of Diablo, so yeah, I'm in a Dungeon Runners, and I also play Magic the Gathering. So
I saw you posted a photo today or yesterday.
Yeah, no,
Card
it
or
was
something.
today. Yeah.
Red
The
Dead
Mystic
can kiss my
Study,
ass.
which is a nice little blue card.
Fucking Red
Ernie,
Dead.
Ernie had his first so Ernie doesn't play a lot of online games.
No, I thought it was nice. I thought like when you go online, you do the missions, and then like there's the online people, and I didn't think that the like online people that you play against other people would attack you. So like I walked by the one
Hang
guy.
on, slow down. So just Call of Duty, other people attack you. Why?
Yeah.
Why do you think Red Dead was different?
Because you can join a posse, and like I didn't know. And I walked by this guy, and I went, "Hey," and he went, "Hi." And I'm walking past. I'm standing near the water. I'm like, "Man, this would be really cool to go fishing here." Next thing I know, I get kicked in the back, shoved down this little laneway, and then I get ha. I don't know where it came from. I heard somebody yell something. The next thing I know, he hog ties me, throws me on his shoulder, and walks me out into the water. And then he throws me into the water. Yeah,
so what you're saying is you met a serial killer in Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah. There's a man on the loose there. So then, like, I'm going online trying to see who the fuck it was that killed me, and it's like, oh, there's a bounty on this one, and it wasn't him because he's not wearing my hat, so I know it's not him. So then I got mad and I walked into town, and I'm like, oh, I didn't realize that you could like kick the town folk. So I'd like kick somebody down and steal their hat. Like, so there I am trying to play like fashion master, trying to find a new hat that I like. But
That's so funny that you had no idea.
I didn't know you did that.
You just saw guys like, hey, that guy's online too. What's up,
Fucking drowns me, just throws me out of the water.
No, like, was he walking for a while?
No, he was right. I walked right past him. I walked up around this house thing.
No. I mean, like,
Oh yeah, we were walking for a while on his back. And it says struggle. So I'm like trying to hit X, like do something, kick him in the nuts, do something. And there's me just kind of, well, I'm going for a walk now.
you went out of his way.
Yeah, tie me, throw me up on his shoulder, and we went for a walk. He walked over and I'm like, and it says like struggle. So I'm hitting the button to struggle, and it's not doing anything. I'm just like, well, I guess I'm fucking drowning.
I would have just turned off the system and just quit. I wouldn't have
I
done it.
haven't played it since. I'm so mad.
Oh my god. Oh man.
I miss Diablo though. Diablo was a fun game.
I was gonna say I really got like I was a huge Diablo guy when it first came out. Diablo, like,
yeah,
man.
no, it's a fun game. I didn't get to play it when I was younger, but I've been playing a lot of 3, and then most recently they re-released 2, so playing a bit of that.
That and StarCraft. We used to love StarCraft.
Yeah, did you ever get into StarCraft? You ever mess around with that?
No, I didn't personally. I was like really into skateboarding at that age, so I was outside.
He was outside. He was outside doing shit. We were
Yeah, we were playing video games, getting thrown into the lake.
get thrown in the fucking legs, get drowned by assholes.
You know what? It's so funny, like, and how you can get so immersed in those games. Like, I remember playing Diablo and like being like, it would be every day. It was almost like a part-time job. Like, I would play it every day, and like we would link up and go on these missions and stuff. And I remember this one time, I don't know if it's like part of the game now, But if you're in a town, you can like drop all your items. And like I was trying to organize all my shit, so I dropped all my items. And then this guy comes running past me, picks up all my stuff, and then leaves. Same kind of thing. And so, but I had worked for like probably a good year and was like building up my necromancer. I think I was like a hardcore level, and it was in town, so you can't fight in town, right? Is that a thing still now?
Yeah.
So I dropped all my stuff and like was organizing my stuff, and this guy like ran over, took all my stuff, and then left the server.
Yeah, but did he tie you up and walk you out
Yeah,
in the
but
river?
I mean, like this is like I put like at least a year into this guy. And had
Oh
like,
yeah,
I,
no, that would suck.
You know what I mean?
I'd be
Like-
pissed.
like I literally was like almost shaking, being like, "Hey, come back! Hey, this is like," and then thinking to myself, "Hang on, this is a video game." You know what I did? I opened up the CD tray, and I was where the house we used to live at is right on top of Sean's Hill. It's like this White House.
Point it out
we
more.
used to live there. Nobody lives there anymore. I opened up my window.
Somebody lives there.
I opened up my window, took the CD, and disc through it.
You did?
I threw it out the window and was done.
I wonder where that game went.
No, you know.
Played that, you know.
I threw it out the window because I was like, I'm addicted. Like I was having like an
Good.
emotional response to this guy stealing like this like crazy knife I had or this staff or
Anger
something.
management over here, toss it out the window. I wonder where that game went.
No, it wasn't like I wasn't angry. I was more just like realization that like I'm addicted to this. This is too much.
We had a
Like,
buddy that would like he would help us level up, so he'd like take it through the levels real quick with the portals
Oh
and
yeah.
yeah. It was does number 3 run pretty much the same as number 2?
No. So number 3, like number 2, I really do like. It's a lot more to like the old school format, but number 3 runs on like a newer style format, especially when like you're talking about your builds and all of that. And then you basically the gameplay in 3 is way easier compared to 2, and it basically only gets hard once you start doing the greater rifts, and that's after you beat like the story mode of the game.
mhm.
Yeah, and then
Now-
it has like a season journey thing, so they reintroduce
Oh.
new things each year and try to like do new updates on it. So yeah, it's got new stuff all the time. It's a fun little game to play.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I like playing the Assassin's Creed games myself. That's like my jam. I like the historical background of it, and I also like enjoying like just like assassinating people. You know what I mean? That's just
Yeah.
like if I can pull off a really cool assassination. It's basically you don't even like in that game. Like if you wanted to fight on one with someone and they know you're there, you have to be leveled up. But you actually can just like walk around and just assassinate people and then just like run. And they're like run and like because like they just chase after you, but you don't have to be a high level, which is like a cool part of that game. It's like you can work hard and being like a really good fighter, but you can also just work hard and just being like an assassin.
What's that stupid dragon one you play?
Okay. It's Skyrim. It's Skyrim.
Oh,
and it's-
Skyrim's great.
yeah, exactly.
Uh-huh.
It's not stupid. What are you talking about?
Mm.
Talk about like immersive. When that game came out, man, like even now, that game like it's pretty awesome.
That Graham's pretty good.
The game.
That Graham's pretty grub.
Well, I mean, like, yeah, it almost seems like the new Zelda game was based on the idea of Skyrim, like being open world and immersive that way. Same with apparently the new Pokemon game is the same. That's what I've been hearing.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with those new Pokemon games. Is it not the one where you have your cell phone? Not the same thing, right? It's
No, I think
different?
that's the one where you got to catch up.
No, this is they have it on the Nintendo Switch, and apparently it's like a open world immersive game that you can like run around and
Yeah.
encounter Pokemon just like out there. It's not like the kind of old school version where you're just a character in a town running around and like the Pokemon just randomly appear in grassy areas. Like you'll be able to see them on the screen.
Yeah.
and you can
Have
choose
you
to
tried
fight them or avoid them?
Have you tried the quest yet?
I haven't done the Pokemon thing yet. I don't even have the game. I tattoo a bunch of nerds, so.
I wanna
I'm a
try one of
nerd
those quests.
myself, so.
It's the quest is that VR thing.
Oh yeah. One of my clients has it. It's a buddy of mine, Justin Alexis. He brought it one time when I was tattooing him. He runs a videography and photography, I guess, business out of Toronto called That Good Graphic. And yeah, he makes really cool videos. So shout out Justin.
Wait, so he went into the virtual reality while he was getting tattooed?
No.
Okay.
We tattooed him, and then afterward, he was like, "Hey, you want to try playing VR?" And we did some like bar fight simulator. It was pretty funny.
I was waiting for
Man.
Jeremy to tell me, yeah, my fucking dentist has that too.
I wish. I
Yeah.
wish, man.
Yeah, I'm
Dude,
getting
my
back
dentist when I was a kid had like Wii and sure. Yeah, he had Wii and I want to say he had an Xbox or like Nintendo 64 or something like that.
You had a Wii at your dentist.
Well, they had it in like, an encased thing. But yeah, it was like way east end of the city.
You want to know what we had? We had a plastic tooth that had like fake teeth and shit in it.
Oh, well, when I was like a little kid, we had like, the little toy things. But like once I was like 14, like, yeah, dentists were just like,
no,
throw
he
a Wii
wasn't
in there.
still-
I'll
Ernie,
buy the
You
kids.
still had plastic teeth and a
wasn't-
dentist whose hands was too fucking big to be a dentist.
He wasn't playing. Yeah, he did have giant freaking hands.
He
and
did.
It was gross.
It's like
That's probably why I have
Shrek jamming his hands down your
probably
fucking
why I
throat.
get like an anxiety attack. I go to the dentist because that weirdo's muffin hands going in my mouth. He wasn't saying. Seriously,
Yeah,
I have like a
suck.
fear. I have a fear of the dentist. Like it's bad.
Oh, fuck.
Like I'm not like afraid of them. Like I'm like want to run away. But like for some reason like I don't know. Like I have a bad gag reflex already. But then like going to the dentist like
Yeah, our fucking the Michelin man was our
yeah, muffin man. Freaking like scared the shit out of me. Thanks a lot, mom. And also our mom. Shout out to our mom who listens to this podcast, by the way.
Yeah.
She would our school was right down the street from the dentist. So she would like come like we got a call down. You got to go down to the principal's office because like your mom's here. I'm like, oh shit. Like maybe I'm going home. She'd be like, hey, I'm here to pick you up. We're going to the dentist. What? So she'd take me to the dentist, and then you go there like 25 minutes, and then she'd drive you back to the school. She wouldn't even take you home.
Yeah.
She'd drive you back to the school and be like, no, you're going back to class now. Like it was like she knew that we wouldn't want to go. Like, but so she would like literally like not tell us and then come pick us up.
Yeah. Surprise, you're going back to school.
Thanks a lot.
It's stretch marks on the outside of your arms. Fucking muffin man with his hands jammed down your throat.
I hate the dentist. Good God. But like he wasn't playing Wii while he was getting his teeth done.
Okay.
No.
Yeah.
It was in the waiting room. Yeah, it
Yeah.
was just to like keep kids calm.
Nah, we didn't have that. We had wooden shit.
Oh yeah.
Remember the wooden cars?
Like, those wooden things that walk like the
Yeah.
Acubus. What do you call them?
Yeah, no, I had those when I was a kid. The little wooden
Beads?
blocks on the little
Yeah.
wire track.
Yeah.
Yep.
Those
Play
were
with
fun.
this. Play with this before the
Shut up and move your beads.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh man. Oh, jeez Louise. So with your like let's get back to tattooing, I guess. We're all over the place here. This is awesome. Like with your tattooing, when people come in and like with your style, do a lot of people just like know like what they're kind of getting into, or do some people still come in and go, hey, I would like this kind of tattoo, and you're like, well, that's actually not what I'm usually good at. Like, are you finding more and more people just have like easy access to Instagram, they know what's up, they come in and they know what they're gonna get?
A bit of both. Like, even when people show me something that it's not my forte, it's not the end of the world. Like, my whole thing is if I feel like I can make the design a good tattoo, then I'll do it. It's just if I don't feel that I can do a certain style well, then like I would just rather send them to the person that does that style than them try and get me to like do a version of that style because it's not something that I do.
Yeah.
But yeah, I usually just tell them that, and and I tell them if they want me to do my interpretation of, whatever, like if it's like a black and gray flower, I'm like, if you want me to give you a traditional version of that flower in black and gray or a Japanese version of it, I can do that. But like, I don't like selling people false dreams or false hopes or anything like that. I'd rather just be honest with them about what my strengths and weaknesses are and let them make an educated decision.
When you have the walk-in days on Wednesday, do you have
Yep.
specific flash for that day, or will you pretty much like, are you willing to draw something up on that day for whoever comes in?
No, so for the $100 palm size designs, that's all like the flash, and I'm painting sheets every single week to add onto the
Whoa.
choices. So there'll be a new minimum of a new 6 designs every week for people
Wow.
to choose from, and yeah, hopefully everything goes well with it, and then I can start bringing some of my friends out the tattoo, and we can have some fun guest spot days and have a good time.
Man, what kind of themes do you do every week? Like, what are some of the ones you've done?
No real themes. Like I just did my first one last week, so
Okay.
next second one is coming up this week. But yeah, no real themes, just general traditional palm-sized traditional designs like skulls, swallows. I did a swallow with a banner with the word love in it. This past Wednesday, little frog wearing a wizard hat shooting a lightning bolt from a wand.
Saw that. That was
Yeah,
rad.
so just small stuff like that. Yeah, just fun designs, and everyone can get, kind of a discount price on the fun tat.
And this is all stuff that, will you put these designs online, or do they have to come in to see these?
Well, I'm gonna start posting them online. So I'm gonna
Okay.
post the 2 sheets that I have that are specifically for the flash day to a highlight on my Instagram, and then every week I'm gonna add the prior week's newest sheet.
I was just gonna ask you that. Yeah.
If anyone wants to see that week's new sheet, they do need to come down to the shop to check it out.
Like, I always find, like, now that, like, when we're a lot of people I know, I don't know, a lot of people who sometimes aren't like that, but a lot of us are tattooed, have a lot of tattoos, are pretty heavily tattooed. And now that we're getting older, do you find it harder to kind of, like, not like you're forced to think about another tattoo for yourself that you want, like you have to kind of force it because you're in the industry, but do you find it easy for you to kind of go, you know what I would like, and then kind of come up with an idea for yourself? Do you find that easier, or do you find that hard to do for yourself now?
Oh, super easy. Like if if I could wake up tomorrow with a blank canvas, I could give myself I could give myself 20 different bodysuits that I would love forever.
Wow.
Yeah, no, tattooing is such like a diverse thing, and there's so many good, strong subject matters out there that people could choose to like make a really well thought out body suit. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, everyone gets tattooed for different reasons. Not everyone wants to be heavily covered. A lot of people just want, tinier, smaller, daintier tattoos, and that's okay too. But yeah, for me, I love the big, powerful looking stuff.
Yeah, and you do a really cool bat, that's for sure.
Thanks, buddy.
Dude, seriously,
Yeah,
like,
it was a good time.
that's like, it's like one of my favorite tattoos, and that's like I love all the
Thanks, man.
stuff
I appreciate that.
Bry's done for me and Anton, but like, oh man, like, I think it was for me maybe because I was so excited. This is why I was kind of asking that question, because now that I'm getting older, I hate getting tattooed. I hate it.
Oh
Like,
yeah, no, it sucks. Like getting
oh,
tattooed sucks, man.
like I've been telling people,
I definitely appreciate that.
yeah, like I've been telling people that I've got a new tattoo, like once, like just people I know, or like once in a while, like, hey, you want to see what cool tattoo I just got like a couple weeks ago? And they're like, oh, that's awesome. But I'm like, they're like, everyone asks you, did it hurt? I go, oh my God, it hurt. Like I'm such a baby now. Like,
Yeah.
and for me, it's like, if I'm gonna get something, I have to be so stoked for it that I know it's gonna suck, but I want it so bad, I'm just gonna go through it.
I'm at the point
Yeah.
now too. I want to get my arms done. I just want to get them done, and I have one more cover up I got to do, and I'm so excited. I found something that I like. So yeah,
Oh, nice.
yeah. I want to do like a warrior with like a bear head on top of his head, kind of thing. You
Like
know
a
those ones?
Viking?
Yeah.
Oh, sick.
It's gonna cover up that bulldog that I have on my
Who's
shoulder.
doing it?
I'm gonna talk to my guy.
Oh,
I'm gonna talk to Daryl.
oh,
Yeah.
cool, man.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
exciting.
excited about that
That's
one.
exciting,
yeah.
man.
And I finally figured out what I want to do for it. Yeah, yeah. It's
Oh,
gotta cover up. It's not super dark, so I think the bear head will cover up the bulldog pretty good, because I got a big
nice.
bulldog on this shoulder. So
Yeah, I gotta get a cover up too. Do you do cover ups?
Yeah.
All right. I need to either add on to something or cover it up. I gotta figure out what I gotta do.
Are you gonna do a bird? That's what I thought you said you were gonna do.
I want a big black raven to cover
You
it
should
up.
do my face.
Nope.
You should do the Muffin Man with his hands and a mouth
I want a mouth getting his
Yeah.
dental work done,
playing Wii.
and then throw up coming out
Throw
of it.
coming out.
There you go.
Playing Xbox.
No, yeah. So what? Like, do you have like plans for getting more tattoos coming up? Like, do you have anything cool coming up? Like, with tattoos you want to get?
I gotta finish up my back, and then like I just have like small spots left. Like I gotta get my left foot done. I got my right foot done by a guy named Nate Draper.
Yeah, we
He
know.
owns
Yeah,
a shop called he owns a shop called the English Rose out in Bowmanville.
yeah. He tattooed me a while ago. Yep.
Yeah, he's a solid dude. So I want to get my left foot done by him because he did a bang up job on my right foot. So got to get my rib panels done, but probably gonna fly out west to get that done. Got one side of my chest that needs to get finished, and then it's background from there. Just the fronts of my thighs and the fronts and backs of my thighs, and that's it.
Man. Yeah, you know what? It like Ernie, you don't have most of your legs done, right? You just
I have
couple.
one, and that's it.
Yeah, that
Not
was
doing it again.
even like doing the inner part of my arm wasn't as bad as the back of my leg. But you were saying when I was talking to you that like your chest and your back is like some of the worst spots, right?
Well, the worst was the palms of my hands, but other than that,
shit.
yeah, no, I have like the entire insides of my palms done. But other than that, I would say like my back was pretty bad. But like I said, I'm just now that I'm getting older, I'm such a pussy now. Like I don't go out and hurt myself every day the way that I used to. So my pain tolerance has gone down, and I just can't sit the way that I used to anymore. So
how long will the palm ones? Sorry, how long will the palm ones last you? Did they fade?
Oh, lifetime.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no,
I thought they faded.
No. They're in there.
So why did the guy that we knew? Why did his go quick?
Talking about Bry?
No.
Who are you talking about?
Jesse.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah, he had some palm ones done, and I saw him like a month later, and they were like disappearing.
Maybe it wasn't deep enough.
Oh.
Yeah, no, I couldn't tell you. Maybe it's just the person that did them. Like I did my wife's palms, and they're in there. And...
Ooh.
Yeah.
My God, bro.
I assume maybe because he does a lot of work with his hands. Like I don't know, he's working with parts and stuff. Maybe I don't know. I didn't know if maybe that made a difference.
No, there's a tattooer that threw out a post years ago. His name's Ryan Gagne, and he tattooed like an oil worker or something like that, and did his palms, and like that dude's palms are in there solid as hell. And like he's out doing heavy machinery oil work all day. So I don't know. I truly just believe that's about how it's put in the skin. There's nothing that can really, barring severe infection, which the person would clearly know they have.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing that can make that much ink fall out of the skin if it's not put in there right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Man, you've 10 years of tattooing. You've kind of like, would you say you tattooed most of Western, like Canada, tattooed like BC, like tattooed, like except you haven't gone out east. That's one place you haven't gone out and tattooed, right?
No, I did a convention out there with my buddy Cam in 2019. We went out to the Moncton convention, and it was a great time.
So
great tattooing out there, great people.
Tattooed all across Canada, 10 years experience.
And you 9 years right now, 10 next year.
Just bump it up.
Who's counting? Nine. Just say I work 9 to 30.
Right?
Bump it up. Pump up those numbers. Like, I think it's pretty amazing. Like what I think you and I were talking about that when I was getting tattooed. That idea of putting in 10,000 hours into something, and like coming out of it. You know what I mean? Like, there's something to be said about it, and it's important. I think like before you can kind of pat yourself on the back and say I've accomplished something, or even like to stop and say like you've accomplished something is almost scary because you don't want to even like stop. You might like, oh, I'm officially there, and then you don't want to get stagnant. You know what I mean? Like it's like this cool idea.
Well, yeah, it's kind of like the beautiful thing about tattooing too is like It's not for everyone, that's for sure. But you know, if you want something that you can always work at and you can always improve at, then it's a pretty cool thing to have because you know you can always better your best.
Mhm. And you love what you do.
Yeah, no, it's you know you got to hang out with people, and you know once you kind of, find a lot of people, myself included, for the first number of years for my career, um, the customer service aspect of the job kind of gets in the way for most people, and it's
Mhm.
interfacing with people can be hard, and trying to figure out how to talk to people and convey your ideas without insulting a client or upsetting a client and things like that. And it's something that, like, I definitely struggled with for a while, and many other tattooers I know have struggled with, once in a
Mm.
while. So, but once you can kind of get that stuff narrowed down and you kind of figure out how to work around that stuff, then you can kind of start educating your client better on how to get better tattoos.
I know your guys' shop is set up where you don't have like a front like foyer person where they come in and say, "Hey, I'm looking for this." It's more of like
Yeah.
an appointment style, like, and most people get a hold of you like on your Instagram or email,
Yep.
and then like they message you. So that barrier and almost like that privacy, it would be hard right off the bat. Like you don't have like this like person who, oh, hey, actually we don't do that at the shop here, and then it takes up a lot of your time to kind of go through that. And if you've had a long day and this person comes in, they're really like fired up about something, you're like, hey man, I can't help you out here, and they're like, what? I just wanted to get a tat, and you're just like, no man, like you gotta have to find someone else. Like I can see how those waters would be hard to kind of wade through. It's like because people are picky. Like some people are super picky. Like
Oh, for sure, yeah. And that's like the easiest way I've found to avoid those situations if I feel like I won't be able to live up to that person's expectations of what they want in a tattoo is I just tell them that it's not my forte. Like if it's not something that I feel will execute well as a readable tattoo, then I'm gonna pass up on it. And it's not out of ego. It's just I want to be proud of what I'm putting on people, and I want
yeah,
people to be proud as well, right? So I'd much rather, operate the craft with some sort of integrity than just do everything that walks in the door because I'm money hungry.
yeah, man, you gotta know you do really good work. I really appreciate
Oh,
your
thank
work,
you.
and like you as a person, like you're just a straight up guy. You're just a cool guy, and I wasn't even getting tattooed by you, and I walked into the shop when I think Joss was doing a walk-in day for Ricky K, and I was just sitting on
Yeah,
the couch and listening to you and your buddy talk. I'm like, man, this is a guy I want to get tattooed by.
thanks, man. Appreciate
Yeah,
that.
yeah, and you're just a cool guy, and I hope people out there hit up Tower Street Tattoo in Fergus, Ontario, and get tattooed by
Fergus is
you.
a nice little town.
Oh, it's gorgeous, dude. Tons of great old architecture there. There's, you know, I know it's not a popular thing right now, but I still like it for the architecture. There's tons of old churches and stuff
Mhm.
like that, and
Beautiful.
Grand River running right through the center of the city. Tons of great little
Mhm.
bars and all that stuff. Yeah,
Nice
it's a
little
great little
stores to
spot,
get, yeah, nice little stores to get knickknacks.
right?
Get the hell out of
Yeah,
here. Get the hell out of
get
here.
some of your little trinkets.
So let everybody know what you got going on, like coming up. The cool things, obviously, we talked about the walk-in Wednesdays, $100 palm size, no necks, no faces. I think you put.
Yeah. No necks, hands, or faces. Yeah, I don't want to be tattooing anywhere that's trouble area. But
Job stop
yeah,
area. Yeah.
yeah, but
Um,
yeah, it's just the $100 walk-in Wednesday for traditional palm-sized tattoos, and that'll be every Wednesday as long as I'm at the shop. And then on March the 8th and 9th, I'll be at my buddy Brett's tattoo shop out in Windsor, Ontario, Classic
nice.
Windsor, doing a little guest spot out there. And yeah, other than
And
that, just drawing, paint, and flash, and
playing video
catch
games.
me in, yeah. Playing video games, watching anime. That's
And
it.
hanging out with your. Oh, we didn't even talk about anime. No.
Oh yeah, no, I'm a huge. Trust me, dude. You don't have enough time to talk about anime with me.
That's also kind of.
6 hours long.
That's out of Ernie's wheelhouse too. You know, Ernie's not really.
That's those people with the big eyes, right?
Yeah. All I can say is I'm on season. I'm trying to think now. I think I'm on season 3 of Attack on Titan now.
Oh, dude, great
no-
show.
Like no spoilers, but I'm at the point now where they're just kind of like getting into the nitty gritty of like who's actually like the royal family. Like I'm right there, and I'm like, I thought the show was good before. It's just like, you know, you always see that meme of like the horse that's being drawn. Like season 1, it looks good. Season 2, it's like rickety like rat. The progression of the show. It's a great anime. Great anime.
Yeah, you
Right.
just wait until you get caught up. It's
Ooh.
take you for a real twist.
All right. I'm super stoked.
Sounds great.
So people can shut up, Bernie. People can get a hold of you on your Instagram. They can get a hold of you on email if they want to get a cool tattoo. I highly recommend it. But dude, thanks for wanting to do this. I've been trying to get a hold of you. Well, not. I was slacking. I'll be honest. I was slacking, and it's hard for me to remember like all the cool people I know that I really want to talk to.
Buddy.
Like I had you on a list. I was like, okay, we got to talk to all these people, and then we just like things got crazy. But I'm glad we can put it together.
For sure, man.
Like
Great
I feel
to be
like
on here.
no, like I feel I'm gonna throw some honesty out for the world and the universe. Bryce Sims was my guy to tattoo me, and he moved because COVID messed around with his life, and
Yeah.
now he's way
Bryce
the hell
great,
out there. And I wanted to get a new guy. I'm like, I need someone I'm gonna trust, get tattooed, and that's you. So.
Oh, thanks, man.
Way to go. Now you're stuck with them. You gotta listen to him.
Jared's not that
Hey,
bad.
can we change the music in this fucking place?
He listens to the same music as
No,
me.
I know, but I'm just saying because you're just so used to it at your dentist.
Oh,
Can I get some sunglasses?
I actually want sunglasses.
I'd like sunglasses. Leave them in the side of the. Leave a shelf for me, please.
Anyway,
Yeah.
Spencer, thanks again for chatting with us. We really appreciate your time.
Anytime.
Yeah,
You
man.
guys have a great night.
Yeah, have a great
Thanks, man.
weekend,
You
dude.
too.
See ya.
You too.